Well, today there's an utter bag of shit in the press, as pretty much usual, I know, but yeah, you know. Before we get to that though, paedophile escaped jail, walked into school and said, "I'll take this child." A paedophile who escaped an open prison walked into school, put his arm round a girl's neck and said, I'll just take this child," a court heard. John Harris, 36, was jailed by the judge who described him as every parent's worst nightmare. But why was he not jailed in the first place? Because the whole judiciary is totally and utterly corrupt, as we'll find out later. May gives away sovereignty over Gibraltar. Brexit bargaining or bargain basement Black Friday balminess. Once upon a time we were told we have all the bargaining chips. Now the chips are down and our representatives are giving away everything, including their credibility. This is treason and sedition by Treason May. At least France are standing up. Marine Le Pen now more popular than Emmanuel Macron, poll shows. Well, that's not going to be hard because he's absolutely detested, the Rothschild's puppet that he is. The beleaguered President Macron breaks another historic record as he is now the most unpopular French president in history at this stage of his presidency. A new poll shows that also Marine Le Pen has surpassed him in popularity. Because the French, just like us, can see the corruption that's going on and the planned invasion of Europe, and they're just going to have to be repatriated. Plain and simple, same in this country, they're going to have to be repatriated back to wherever they come from. And here we go with the bullshit. Far left anarchist group Class War who attacked Rees-Mogg now targeted working class Brexit march. What a crock of shite. I'm not even going to read that because it's just utter bull. Just 2% of Brits put great deal of trust in journalists to tell truth, new research finds. Well, there's a shot. Not. Just 2% of British adults put a great deal of trust in journalists to tell the truth, according to research by YouGov and Cambridge University. A total of 16% of the more than 2,000 British adults, 18 plus surveyed, said they had a fair amount of trust in journalists to tell the truth, while the vast majority, 77%, said they had little or to no trust in journalists. And I'm one of them. I've got no trust in anything you read or hear on the news. Furious jailed rapist who fathered a child with a 15-year-old grooming gang victim is invited by social workers to be involved in the boy's upbringing, leaving the girl angry and scared. Woman was at risk of being re-traumatised by the social workers' decision. Council workers in Northern England tried to help the rapist meet up with her son. The girl was 15 when she was raped and impregnated by the man who was one of a group of Pakistani origin males found guilty of attacking girls in grooming gang. And the social service, if it's anything to do with councils or government, absolute corruption. The bloke should be in jail and not allowed to see anything, the girl or the kid. But the judiciary, as I pointed out earlier, totally and utterly corrupt, as are social services. MP who stopped up skirting bill now blocks bid to protect girls from FGM. The MP who blocked the bill to make upskirting a crime has now stopped legislation designed to stop girls against FGM. Christopher Chope, paedophile, shouted out object to the female genital mutilation bill getting a second reading in the House of Commons. He has been condemned today on Twitter by campaigners and fellow MPs who have posed the question, who do people vote? Why do people vote him into power? That's the picture of him. If you vote for this piece of shit, you deserve what you get. The government's can't-do attitude to Brexit has got us into this mess, but there is a way out. If you want proof that this deal is a disaster for this country, look at the eagerness of the other countries to sign it. For the last 2.5 years, a European Commission has been telling us that Brexit was a mistake, that we would regret it, that we would be... I can't see the... But basically, of course it's bullshit. Utter crap. Major psyop in Europe exposed. UK government tramples on values it vowed to protect. Those who have been saying that the West has turned Russia into a scapegoat to be blamed for each and everything that goes wrong have been proved right. We have witnessed concocted stories invented to disengage Moscow that have gone viral as directed by the secret services. So, well, it's not a shock really, is it? We all know that they're all totally corrupt and the secret services are just waste of time. Sweden is on the verge of going completely cashless. What could possibly go wrong? Well, you go to pay for something and your card don't work. Now you can just go, oh, here's some cash. Cashless, your card don't work. Oh, I'll try a different one. If that don't work, you're screwed. But hey, that's the plan. Make the whole of the planet cashless, and then they can just steal as much as they want and steal from you whenever. Because once cashless, everything's in a bank, for instance, they won't wait to take your council tax out or your tax out. They'll just take it. Whether you've got food, can afford food or not, doesn't matter. They'll just take it, because that's how corrupt this government is. The UK's EU membership fee. The UK pays more into the EU budget than it gets back. In 2016, the UK government paid 13.1 billion to the EU budget, and EU spending on the UK was forecast to be 4.5 billion. So they're not spending, they're giving us a tiny little bit back. Another reason we shouldn't be in this. So the UK's net contribution was estimated at 8.6 billion. Each year the UK gets a discount on its contributions to the EU. The rebate worth almost 4 billion last year. Without the UK would have been liable for 17 billion in contributions. 17 billion is what we pay into the EU budget, but we get a discount called a rebate of 4 billion. So 13 billion is what we actually pay into the EU as a membership fee. That's too much. Let's get out. The EU is nothing but the New World Order dictatorship. A brand new 2017 Mercedes-Benz SLC 300 costs $47,950. 1 year supply of drug that treats multiple sclerosis costs $65,000. This is what happens when Big Pharma has bought all of your politicians. The same in this country as I'll show you later. Local authorities reserves, March 2018. Basically, the councils have got 16.7 billion in reserves. We shouldn't be paying council tax. Councils need to go. They're just a corrupt criminal cartel. Pay up or we'll come round and force you, we'll steal your stuff. That's a mafia. That's all the council is. Hundreds of jobs to be cut, council tax to rise and services to be reduced as part of Bradford Council's latest budget. We need rid of councils once and for all. Refugee acquitted of rape as he has different cultural norms. His female victim attempted suicide. A refugee from Bangladesh was tried by a French court and was acquitted of the rape of a high school girl. The verdict was handed down yesterday. The young man also sexually assaulted another young girl. He also charged with both cases but acquitted of the rape. This is French. It just shows you the same things happening to the judiciary in France as it is here. They're all corrupt and covering up the invasion. British government breaks promises and will sign UN Migration Pact. Treason and sedition by May. The UN Migration Pact has surely caused an international uproar, countries choosing not to sign it having confirmed or indicating they are rethinking signing are Australia, Poland, Israel, Switzerland, Austria, Hungary, the Czech Republic, Bulgaria, Croatia, all following the United States lead in withdrawing. But we have a treasonous bitch that's going to sign it because it's blatantly obvious. She is trying to destroy this country, as is the plan of the New World Order. Danish party that wants to expel Muslim welfare migrants is growing quickly. So one country's standing up for itself. A new Danish, of course, the right-wing party. You know, if they want to stand up for the country, it's right-wing. Bullshit. Challenging the Danish People's Party with a harsher immigration policy is moving ahead. In a recent survey, the New Right, as they are called, received 4.6% of the votes, according to the Jutland Post. An opinion poll from Norstats shows that the New Right is now larger than the two other parties, the Conservative People's Party and the Liberal Alliance. The New Right almost double in its support since August, when the party at polled 2.7% of support. This is just a warning for you. I saw this on Facebook. Member of the public experienced this, but be aware. Bought a bunch of stuff, over 150 quid, and I glanced at my receipt as the cashier was handing me the bags. I saw a cashback of 40 quid. I told her I didn't request a cashback and to delete it. She said I'd have to take the £40 because she couldn't delete it. I told her call a supervisor. Supervisor came in and said I'd have to take it. I said no, taking the 40 would be a cash advance against my credit card, and I wasn't paying interest on a cash advance. If they couldn't delete it, they would have to delete the whole order. So the supervisor had the cashier delete the whole order and rescan everything. The second time I looked at the electric pad before I signed, and a cash back of 20 popped up. At this point, I told the cashier and she deleted it. The total came out right. The cashier agreed that the electronic pad must be defective. Obviously, the cashier knew the electric pad was defective, or had she deliberately put that 40 quid thinking you wouldn't check? Because she never offered me the 40 quid at the beginning. Can you imagine how many people went through before me, and at the end of her shift, how much would she pocket? I'm not going to read the rest. It's out. I've shared it on Facebook, so if you want to see that whole thing there, but it's a warning. This is what some of the cashiers are doing. They're scamming you because they think if you the old will get caught the most. So pay attention. Always check your receipt. Make sure there's no cashback. Remember, if it's cashback, it's supposed to be circled. McDonald calls for check on council loans that will waste 16 billion. Interest payments over the next 40 years could be halved with public loans, says report says. Interest could be done away with if we printed our own money and didn't get it from a private bank. The Shadow Chancellor John McDowell has called for a government investigation into the use of high-cost bank loans after a report from local councils stand to waste up to 16 billion of interest payments over the next 40 years. And why? Because they don't give a shit. Because it's your money, so they don't give a shit. Civil rights under serious attack across the globe. More than half of the countries use censorship, harassment or violence to repress public debate, warns a report. Nearly 6 in 10 countries are seriously restricting people's freedoms, according to a new report that warns of a growing repression around the world. This is all the governments working together. This is a major worldwide conspiracy, and almost every leader of every government on the planet is involved. And they're Freemasons, and that's why they've got away with it, because it's just so big you think that couldn't happen. Well, it is happening, and it's a plan to destroy the population of the planet, as we know. As you can see from the photo, it's David Noakes, who was using a cure for cancer, and this evil Freemason sentenced him to 12 months for curing cancer. One of the biggest crimes in history committed by the judiciary of the people of Britain was committed today. Natural cancer cure and autism recovery aid suppressed and turned into a money laundering set-up circus for the pharmaceutical companies to carry on making trillions of pounds from peddling their shit that doesn't cure. Where I think it was GC Mac or GF Mac or MAF cures cancer, and he cured someone only allowed one witness, even though there was multiple men and women that he'd cured, but the judge found him guilty of going against the 1939 Cancer Act, which is an act designed to protect Big Pharma and lock up the man in the street if he discovers a cure and uses it, because they don't want you cured, they want you dead. The scum. 12k gizmo to combat bad energy. 2k. Electric workouts in the dark. No six-pack secrets. May to lose vote on deal by 200. Sun Royal exclusive. Meghan made Kate cry. Bride strict demands over Charlotte dress reduce her to tears. What a crock of parasites. Mirror. Jungle Noel Harry so good at saying Parasite exclusive. Harry and Meg's 5 million new home security bill. Protection experts predict a move to 5-bedroom Windsor cottage could spiral. But they said we don't give a shit how much it costs because the public's paying for it. The Times. Rotherham rape victim reveals new care scandal. Mother demands changes in law after council gave abuser chance to meet her son. Utterly disgusting. Councils are totally corrupt. Every single one in the UK is totally and utterly corrupt. Twig. Rail chiefs behind the misery of Leaves Online. Suicides concealed. The University West of England has been accused of concealing the scale of suicide by students after a leaked report said that 14 had taken their lives in 8 years, and that's because in this university these days they're just bombarding you with so much shit to depress you and make you kill yourself. I know someone that went to university and had to leave within the first year because and he's now depressed and wants to stop himself. But that's what they do. That's the plan. US calms Brexit row. Spy student returns. Russia raises stakes. Ukrainian sailors seized by Russian forces in the Black Sea were remanded in custody for 2 months by a court in Crimea as the Kremlin escalates hostilities. No, that's a load of shit. Thomas Cook woes. Express. Would you live in the town that Charles built? Not a chance. Jungle Land's hospital horror. Exclusive. Rotherham abuse victim pleads for change in law after monstrous decision to offer jailed sex offender parental access. Scandal of rapist given rights over victim's child. The councils have got to go. The social services have got to go. We know the government's got to go. The royals have got to go. The courts have got to go. Everything is corrupt. It's time we stood up and put it right. The Star. Total waste of time. Don't buy it. You're a fool if you do. Beck's on the lips. Is niceness a hate crime? Okay, twat. Today, your Star urges Prime Minister Theresa May to forget about boring old Brexit and sort the real issue out of Save Our Sally. Holly set to topple and so this paper thinks it's more important for something TV actress in Coronation Street, I'm guessing, to be saved from something than finding out that Brexit is a load of shit and we've been stabbed in the back by Treason May, who's committed treason and sedition. But according to this Star, Coronation Street's more important. How why anyone buys that paper is beyond me. The Guardian. Labour plan to give customers of big firms vote on boardroom pay. The scale of bonuses should be a source of shame. It is. It never rains but it pours. Treason May takes Brexit deal on tour. Please back me, even though I'm stabbing you in the back, committing treason and sedition. Back me so that I can get my New World Order in and start getting rid of you lot. Fears over medical device ignored. Basically, it can harden up and cause problems. Manafort held secret talks with Assange. utter daily fail. She fired my husband, but even I salute May's true grit that won the deal to deliver Brexit. Sarah Vine. You stupid thick bitch, or you're just one of them. Exclusive bombshell. Poll reveals Britain's back May's deal. Absolute lies. Public say it's best it on offer by a huge margin. Utter lies. And voters insist staying in the EU would be a humiliation. So now, will MPs listen? I hope not, because that's a crock of shit. Oh, you notice here? Should MPs back May's deal? Yes, 41. No, 38. Well, if it was simple yes and no, where's the other votes? And were you asked? No, neither was I. It's not ideal, but it is best on offer. No, it's bleeding not. We just repeal the 72 Act, we're out, and we can go up yours. Oh, again, 52% yes and 19% no. So where are the rest of the votes? Do you think there's been some fiddling going off here? So do I. Would staying in the EU be humiliating? Yes, 47, no, 24. There should be 100%. What's going on? It's a fixed, rigged voting decision, because I know none of you will vote. If you asked, put it in the comments, because I don't believe anyone's been asked, and this is a made-up poll that they've just done in the office by themselves to come to their own decision. Tell lie graph. Mrs May's ministers need us to summon up the collective courage to say she has done her best, but the game is up. Now get it to jail. Alison Pearson, the PM has united the country in disbelief. Michael Fallon, we must take time to rethink this deal. It's treason. She's selling the country out. You and me. She's selling you and me out. The Brexit backpedalling begins. May to defy Parliament and refuse to publish full legal advice behind deal, sparking suspicious of a cover-up. Of course it's a cover-up. Home Secretary admits government also unlikely to unveil contentious immigration white paper before vote. Yeah, because they don't want you to know that they're going to open the floodgates and allow them all in so that they can destroy this country, because that's what these bastards in Parliament are doing. Javid wants Medship to rescue Channel migrants. Javid can piss off. Facebook alert to Russian hacking in 2014. Yeah, piss off. If anything happens, blame Russia. That's the go-to blame these days. Bus firm blames age equality laws for fatal crash. Metro. Emily just popping out. Too late to save trapped toddler. Hero police officer river rescue bid. Well, at least this one tried to save him, unlike that I'm trying not to swear. That chief constable from yesterday that ordered them to let him drown. Aye. Tracy Couch. I found out the hard way how our politics can stifle the public good. Could have told you that. May sets off on UK tour to sell doomed Brexit deal. Katie Balls. Why Brexiteers are now backing a second referendum. Did she not know how referendums work? You ask the public to vote on something, they vote leave, that's it. We don't. If it's second referendum, then it's all worthless and it's treason. It's just utter treason. And she's probably related to Ed Balls, so she's got her own axe to grind. Tech giants in the dock. Facebook. MPs for 9 countries hear claims of fake news cover-up and business malpractice as international inquiry begins in UK. Google. Consumer groups from across Europe complain that tracking users' location breaches data protection rules. Uber fined £385,000 for failing to protect British customer data. Land Girl Codebreaker Peer, the extraordinary life of Baroness Trumpington. Universities to curb degree inflation, new advice for callers to NHS helpline. And I'm not going to read the other bullshit. Financial Times. We need to rethink how we support entrepreneurs. Building low-cost houses for the working poor. Oh, so more class separation. Oh, you're poor work. We'll build you shitty houses then. We'll build you any old hovel, you know, it'll do because you're just a poor worker. Poland pulls back in clash with EU over jurisdiction reforms. On the stump, May battles to sell the treasonous Brexit deal. Of course, there is no exit. Danks scandal spurs crackdown on misuse of limited partnerships. Shell entities exploited by launderers. Legislation next year. City opposes new laws because it'll crack down on the corruption inside the City of London. White House pours cold water on hopes of G20 trade truce with China. Thomas Cook profits run day in long hot summer. So, as you can see, more utter treason and sedition by the traitor Theresa May.